On today's episode, we're trussing and linking the rear diff.
Sponsored in part by TMR Customs, Zuki Freak Garage, and Strikeforce67.ca, the official Canadian home of Go Treads, Canada's professional traction tool. Alright, so you can see now I've welded in this flat bar here because I'm not sure when I cut this tube if the frame is going to spring. I mean, it shouldn't, but just in case, I weld that bar in. I'm going to cut this tube off. It's in the way anyhow for the drive shaft, but also it's in the way for when I put my lower frame, well, I guess it's lower and upper frame link mounts right in here. I can't go in front of it because there's some rivets here, and I mean, I probably could grind them rivets off and weld this plate in here anyhow, but I think I want to bring the plate just behind these rivets here and weld it in there. So let's go ahead and cut this tube out of here, and then we can start mocking up the frame mount 4-link hangers. Alright, the moment of truth here. We're going to weld the link bracket to the frame. Actually, we're just going to tack it for now, and we'll check everything over. If everything looks good, we'll weld her in solid. So let's give her a tack. Alright, looks like everything's gonna work. If we call this our imaginary link, we run it in there. I'd have to run to the high one, but everything is in line. Everything looks good, angles look good, and everything. Here's the lower link. So what I'm doing here is I'm leveling the frame, getting it to ride height, getting everything where it needs to be, getting the diff centered this way, this way, this way, getting everything square before I take measurements for lower and upper links. That way I know everything is good and where I want it, and nothing should change very much. Maybe a few turns on the links to get everything really squared up, and it should be good. So I'm going to just continue to lift this side here and get her leveled up. Okay, so I got the diff all perfectly squared in here, about ride height, pretty close to ride height. Now we're just going to take a measurement of what our lower coils or what our lower links would be. Looks like we could get away with 28-inch. And if anything, I'll be moving these brackets back a little bit because I can't change the angle of these to meet up with the center of that. And it kind of looks like, you guys probably won't be able to see it, but it looks like they won't be able to sit in here straight the way I have it right now. I'd have to kind of cock them offside a little bit. So I think I'll end up moving these brackets back a little bit, but I think for now we're going to cut these at 28. I can always cut them shorter and see what they look like. All right, so I ended up moving these brackets back just to keep the angles of these links more straight on with the bucket, you know. So let's just tack these on. We'll throw this lower link on, and then we can measure for our upper links. Beauty. Looks pretty cool. Now we can just make sure we didn't move anything and measure our upper links. All right, let's slide in our upper links here. They should just slide right in, yeah. Now that's the handy thing with using that shim. When things shrunk, it's a perfect fit in there, like beautiful. So let's measure our upper links, where they're gonna go, and we should be good from there. All right, we pretty well got the upper lengths figured out. So let's go ahead and install this last one here, then we can tack it all up and she'll be ready to weld solid and be done with the rear diff. There we go, looking pretty cool, looking pretty good. So now I can basically take some measurements here, go to the 4-link calculator and see where we're at and see if we need to make any changes. Let's go check that out. There we go, I just got done entering all my numbers for my 4-link. Added all into this, I don't know how you say the program name, triaged or triaged or whatever it is. But I've entered all my numbers. And now it's showing me what my anti-squat is, my roll center, my roll axis, all that stuff. So my anti-squat is actually 60%, which is pretty low. So I'm gonna play with some numbers and see if I can't bring that up. Okay, so you can see I ran the numbers where they're sitting right now. We got an anti-squat of 65%. I got all my numbers put in here. So we want to bring our anti-squat higher, closer to 100%. So if we go here and we basically lower that frame, that upper link by 1 inch, 25. That brings our anti-squat to 100. If we lower that link again, one more, which the upper links on the frame are adjustable, that brings us at 95%. But it also, if you look down here, it makes your upper link start dropping more down. And they say you want to try and keep your upper link fairly level. So let's bring our ride height up 1 inch. So this would be like if we make our coilovers, our ride height 1 inch taller. 25. Enter. We also need to change this one, 21.5. $21.5. That puts us at 103. So if I dropped the upper links at the frame 2 holes and lifted the body up or the frame up 1 inch, we would be pretty much right at 103 with a -2 roll axis. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. So let's pretend that we move that upper link up 1 hole. Whoops. You get 88%. So playing with these numbers is basically I'll get to know how to set up the FJ to have like as good a numbers as I can possibly have so that the 4-link will work as good as possible. So I'm just going to play around with these numbers here a little bit more, and then I'm going to go out to the shop, finish welding up the links to the frame and all that, and we'll be done the rear suspension. Now, if you guys want to learn more about how to run this program, Muddy Beards on YouTube has a real good video on showing you where to get your measurements and how to run all these numbers and everything like that. So go over to his channel, check it out, watch the video. I'll leave a link to his video in this video right here. I'll put a bubble or something up here to link you. So if you want to go check out how to run this program, go check it out. It's a pretty good video. So got the 4-link done, looking pretty darn good, and all my numbers are looking really good. I put it on a calculator, everything looks good. The lower links here are 2.65 degrees, the upper links about 3 degrees. They say you don't want no more than 10 degrees on these lower links, and you want these about as level or parallel to the ground as you possibly can. Now I gotta say, the TMR kit, being a universal 4-link kit with these basically a single piece upper and lower link buckets, if you want to call them that, what a time saver. I mean, if I had to make all these parts by hand myself, plasma cutting them out, trying to figure it all out, it would have taken me forever. It would have taken way more than the 2.5 days that I've been on this project. And I mean, total time saver. If you guys are looking to do a 4-link kit or something like that, have a good look at TMR's website. They have a ton of parts and 4-link suspension, all 4x4 related builder parts, crazy amount of stuff on there, and it's nicely cut, fits perfect. Everything is really good. I mean, I had to do a little trimming on the truss, but it's a universal kit, you know, so you're bound to have to modify a few little things. But that being said, I'm totally happy with the product I got from TMR and the service that I got from him and everything. I'll definitely buy from him again. It's great stuff. So if you guys are liking the way the old Extreme FJ40 project is going along, go ahead, subscribe, share, like these videos, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell to be notified. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.